12 Strong stars Chris Hemsworth, Michael Shannon, and Michael Peña and tells the true story of the horse soldiers, men who after 9/11 signed up to go and be the first people to fight against the Taliban. The nation was obviously hurting at the time, and a lot of these men were going to go on leave, but after that they decided, no, we're going to go do something about it. And this is the declassified story of these 12 guys who were the very first to fight back. I would liken 12 Strong to Michael Bay's 13 Hours that came out also in January, also a war film that has amazing action sequences, but weak character work. 12 Strong, 13 Hours. That's crazy. I just thought of that. This movie's filled with committed performances. Chris Hemsworth is able to escape the he looks like Thor thing. He does a very good job here, especially in the action scenes. His face gets covered by dirt, and his friend that he's there trying to communicate with, who also lives in Afghanistan, who's giving him information about where the Taliban are, he looks at him and says, "You've got the killer eyes," when he has this dirt all over his face and he looks just angry and filled with rage. And there's a lot of powerful moments like that, surprisingly, in 12 Strong that aren't just about the war. A lot of it does have to do with Hemsworth trying to communicate with people who are in Afghanistan, who also hate the Taliban, who are helping him find them. And so there's a little bit of a cultural gap there, because some of the men he's communicating with, they have their own agendas as well. They both want the Taliban out, but they both kind of want it done in different ways. And so that aspect of the movie was kind of riveting, and I was glad they had the balls to, at least in a sort of entertaining, feel-good way, explore some of those darker elements. Despite the fact that some of the Taliban they fight against kind of come off like stormtroopers who can't aim at anything, the true story is served well enough to the point where you have a huge amount of respect for these men when you leave the theater. But I can also understand from a film standpoint how hard it would be to depict danger, to depict that your heroes are almost going to die when the true story says otherwise. If you don't know the true story, I'll avoid talking about it, but it's like they did a really damn good job, but you still have to have some fright and some scares. You have to feel like there's some stakes, even though these guys did some amazing work. But the writing for these characters was unfortunately a little basic. They make jokes, they tell dirty jokes, they say things that soldiers say in movies, and there doesn't really seem to be that much of an effort to make the men stand out, but there's a definite effort to make sure we understand the danger these men put themselves in. And while the film can come off a little murky on the politics taking place, it's not a complete abandonment of them. And when I go to a film like this, I don't necessarily need all of that. Sometimes just putting me in the fray with the men and showing us exactly what they went through, or at least a fairly accurate depiction of what they went through, that's enough for me. I'm going to give 12 Strong a B. This January has actually been okay so far. I have yet to see a terrible, awful January film. There's been some disappointing ones, but as far as Januaries go, this is definitely one of the best so far. I'm actually feeling kind of good about this. We got a few more movies to see, but we'll see what happens. Guys, thank you so much as always for watching, and if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmannized.